been a week. Hello, chat. Hello, Black Flame. Hello, SD. Hello, Jojo. Hello, Peyton. Hi, Nick. Click Killers. Rias. It is great to see you all. We are at our last lecture. There is no test for today. This is kind of like at the end of the year in elementary school or high school when you have that yearbook and it's like, wow, sign my yearbook, and everyone goes around and signs their yearbook. This is my last stream before I go on a rebrand, semi-hiatus, whatever one may call it. There's just a lot going on in my life right now, and I do need I just need some more time. But I also do want to rethink what I'm going to be doing with Zhuni. So first covering I'll go through that later. I will go through what the plan will be after going on from here on out. I'll toss that somewhere in the middle so people know where it is, but also don't know where it is, because why not? I can do that. But I actually wrote a lot for this because I have many, many thoughts about this whole VTuber industry thing, etc. But I'm actually gonna go read through what I've written because it's a thing that I did and prepped. Also, hi Ayla. I'd also like to thank Ayla as I did screw up my schedule a lot, and this was the last schedule. I literally had one job and I screwed up my one job to get this right, and it is what it is. So thank you, Ayla, for being flexible with your schedule. Zhuni's kind of a dum-dum, but you all do that. We have our head empty moments. But also hello Pembu and folks who are rolling on in. Appreciate you popping on in. But this is it. This is the last stream before rebrand. It's been 142 class sessions since we started this journey together. And so for this last lecture before rebrand, I've put together a series of essays, if one will. I really think they're more ramblings at this point. As I've been reading through them, it's like, some of them like kind of we digress on topics. I'm not really sure. So some of this is like I have written out content. Sometimes I'll be off script. We'll figure it out. But many of these letters are can be considered some of my research findings in the past year and a half that I've been doing that. As I started this journey, I said that I am the academic VTuber, and I still stand very much by that. I use qualitative research methods to truly understand what is going on in this field. And as someone who comes in as an outsider, I think it provides me a lens that questions and breaks down some of these terminology and what they mean. Why do people continue to do this? And so, I hope that these findings, these letters, can continue to help support some of the other people who are continuing to stream and continuing to go. Today, as I was on Twitter, I was scrolling through this feed, and people were talking about how post-COVID, a lot of people have stopped their streaming and have not had the longevity as the VTuber boom has finally ended. And I would also argue for a case that the VTuber boom is ended, but not because of just pandemic. I think there's a lot of other qualities that are related to that. But as this is a journey, as we are going on, I think it's appropriate that we have nice, some cool music to start it. So I will be playing 2 anime themes that I have played before. And I'll be doing this on piano, of course, but hopefully you all enjoy it, as it's something that I've been working on throughout this whole journey, and this is basically our end product. So if one will, let me get started on this. Also, hi Penchan! Okay, let me get started with this. So I wanted to start with those two songs because this is something that I've been working on throughout the whole stream, right? I don't proclaim to ever be like a professional pianist or like a professional vocalist. What made this stream and the learning process, or like what made this really important for me, was about learning and going through together. Although at times there was a lot of moments where I said I really needed to be the professional in the room. No one asked for me to be the professional, right? I've made it my goals every year whenever we did New Year's resolutions to like, I'm gonna get better at these things. And so I still have a lot of nerves even when practicing. That was very different from how I imagined that going this morning, but it was a lot better this morning. The nerves are still there and it never goes away. But I wanted to start with those because every person's journey, every anime protagonist has a theme. And while those are very famous themes, I think it's important that we open off with something bright and energetic, because that's what VTubing starts as. When people go through their debuts, they have these magnificent, amazing set pieces and a whole show essentially organized for you over the course of an hour or less. But really, when we think about these people who put all this time and energy into making sure that they have this great content, we have to know like what you're getting into. What is an influencer? And what is the role of an influencer in today's society? With the rise of social media, we've seen the roles of influencers change and grow. And to do this, should they be also considered the same as like actors or entertainers? How does one transfer such powers? A lot of these questions came to me recently when I was watching a show on Netflix called Influencers. As my roommate was really excited about the show, I was like, this is going to be terrible. I'm not going to watch this. And then my roommate showed it to me and I'm like, okay, I'll give it like 5 minutes, and it was okay. But really watching through the show, it gave me a lot of ideas on like what it means to be an influencer and really made me think about it. And so when I think about the role of an influencer, I frame the question beginning with how transferable one's forms of social capital are. And so if you've been to this stream before, if you caught on early, I did a whole My Hero Academia analysis using social capital. And as mentioned in that stream by Bourdieu, Bourdieu theorized that there are 3 forms of capital: social, political, and economic. And these forms of capital were often transferable forms of power. For example, owners of large corporations were able to transfer their monetary power into social or political power. If you need an anime example, you can just look at what I did for My Hero Academia, as the Academy was able to transfer a lot of its political power, or monetary power, into political power, etc., to be able to build an agenda for what hero society should look like. Now, in the role of influencers and content creators, I think it's helpful to think about this in the form of how much capital and power do these individuals have? And so you must be wondering, well, what are we convincing people of, right? Influencers are selling themselves as a product first, but in selling a product, you have to convince someone to buy it. And the question is, what am I convincing you of? And that's a fair question. The first thing I need to do is convince you to stick around on this channel and spend your extra time here. And I can do this in a number of ways. I can provide entertaining music, I can provide funny commentary, I can provide a space where you feel safe. In other cases, I can be super hot. I can be adorable. I can be, whatever you want me to be. I'm kidding, I'm not gonna go that far. But the real caveat of this is that, am I able to do this within a given time span? So for example, in a particular video that I've had, can I do this in like 2 minutes? Can I do this in 30 seconds? If you're popping into the stream, can I convince you to stick around? Really, that's not my goal at this point, because this is the last lecture. What's good? But briefly, I have to convince you to stick around on my channel. But once I'm able to convince you to stick around, how do I transfer my ability to have you watch me into monetary spending power? And that is what the difficult question of being an influencer is, and I think that's the separating quality between content creators and influencers. Influencers are able to take their content creation abilities and transform them into actual monetary value. And so next we then get into the challenges of content creation. Also, hi Hannah, hi Terry. And so when we get into the challenges of content creating, while we are able to define the qualities of what makes a content creator, we have yet to actually elucidate what the incentives of being a content creator are. At first glance, it seems easy enough. And even to me, I thought it was simply easy enough. This person just plays video games and chats, which seems like an easy enough goal to attain. However, there are seemingly easy as it is, we wouldn't have such a wide discrepancy of viewerships if everyone provided the exact same thing. And for some reason, and clearly we don't have the examples of the exact same viewership over the course of X amount of streams. Just log on to YouTube right now and compare my streams with literally anyone else. And so the question that we have at this point is, why is there such a wide discrepancy across viewership, and how does this relate to content creation? So let's talk about why people start out as VTubers and content creators. First, content creators align and have their own personal goals of spreading some kind of message. And I take this very, very broadly, right? You have a personal goal of spreading some kind of message. You genuinely enjoy providing entertainment and making people smile. This is something I hear from a lot of VTubers and other content creators. They truly just want to make people smile. And that's different from content creators like, I have a particular agenda. I want to see people, get better at Elden Ring. So I make all these things about Elden Ring, or I want to tell stories. Basically, there's some kind of internal drive that we find as individuals and content creators to be able to use this platform particularly to spread a message. Now, there are also other incentives, such as you want to do content creation because you are seeking some kind of objective, whether that be wealth, fame, power. One Piece. I'm not here to make any value additive assessments about what one's goals are. We all are here in this VTubing sphere. We are all here to do our thing. But what the reasons why we are here and why we continue to be here may differ, and will need to differ. Not they don't need to differ, but they need to drive you enough to continue to do the work that you do. Regardless of these cases, I think it's important that we recognize some of the financial incentives that go into content creation. So I'm going to very much just go through and break down what costs go into VTubing. Now, I feel like many people know some of the basic costs, but content creation, I argue, is a very, very expensive industry. Now, let's assume that you are not a VTuber, that you're just an average flesh tuber or IRL streamer. First, you need to figure out how to use your computer and download some kind of software. Many people will be like, oh, I just have my school laptop. I'll just use that. And then you have to figure out how to use OBS. Once you figure out how to use OBS, you can figure out, oh, is my computer actually good enough to use OBS? Oh no, my computer isn't good enough for OBS. You're going to be spending a minimum of $350 to $400 on a laptop that works. And maybe it's not for school, but you're convincing yourself like, oh, this is fine. It's for school. I swear it's for other things. I can watch videos and play games. It's not just for streaming. That was my rationale. Next, you need to find a webcam. Webcams can range from $30 to $100+. And I would say that this is kind of a key point to any content creation, because it is what makes you look crisp and what makes you look good. They are a critical component to making sure that when people log in and see what you are creating, that you look decent and you know what you're doing. Now, with the very, very basic, the very bare bones of content creation, we are already at $400+, and that's lowering the cost of the laptop to $300. Let's say you got it on sale, and let's say that you got like a meh kind of camera, and sure, then your results may vary. Your mileage will vary at that point. And so the cost of entry to content creation is a computer plus a webcam. But this does not begin the discussion on getting an appropriate microphone, commissioning an overlay, and other aesthetics, which are important components to running a stream. Long gone are the days where you can just go up onto YouTube and be like, I'm gonna be silly. No, it does not work like that anymore. You very much have to have something to make your stream look good. The days of I can do whatever I want on YouTube are long gone. That was like 10, 15 years ago. Now when people log on to YouTube, they expect some kind of quality curated stream. And so to make sure that you have all these other things to sound good, you need to figure out how to do audio. You need to figure out what plugins to use. You need to figure out how to get your plugins into OBS. You also need to make sure that you know, like, how do I get overlays? What do overlays, how does this thing even work? So you need to go find people, and that can also cost, that will cost money. And so this is also not getting into the VTubing sphere. We are just still talking about IRL. We haven't even gotten you a streaming card, like a video card that can stream. Okay, we are just talking about being a content creator that's simple. And this is already an investment of, let's just say $500. $500. And I think for people who want to get into content creation in the first place, it's like, oh, this is the bar, right? Sure. But as I talk with a lot of people, I'd say, find a job. But before that, let's go into the actual VTuber side, right? So this is just the cost of entry if you are trying to be an IRL content creator. Now, for VTubers, the cost continues to increase at that point. Now, the camera may vary because you can use your old iPhone, but when you use your iPhone for streaming, wear and tear happens on your iPhone, and your iPhone's the value of your iPhone is going to decrease because of what it's doing, and it's going to be overworked because it's a lot of processing power to use a phone to be able to do that. You're going to kill your battery. But anyhow, we're going to ignore all those pieces and say you got to find a model first. And as much as I'd like to say this is not critical and crucial, I very much argue finding a good artist who can make your character look good is a very, very important component. And this often, I think, is overlooked. And now I understand there is debate within the VTuber sphere of how important is it to get a name brand artist. First of all, the artist, my mom, we found through the Fire Emblem Heroes app and one of the characters, and I really enjoyed her art. And I think she's done a great job bringing me to life. However, as a VTuber artist who's not in the VTuber world, she wasn't able to catch up on get the amount of traction that some other artists who have made a lot of VTubers have. And so I think this is very much about the social capital, right? The social capital does translate into actual costs. And when you are looking for an artist who does make a lot of VTubers, then the price can go up, and that's because of the social cost. And now this is not to say that, if I have a VTuber model that's made by a famous artist, we're gonna pop off right away. You may get a lot of follows on Twitter, but those follows may not necessarily transfer over in like concurrent views. I think you can find a handful of examples, but all I'm saying is going back to the cost of a model can be a lot. And if you're just trying to get experience of like, okay, how do I do this? Like, how do I be a VTuber? Then you can buy a pre-made model. Of course you can. But if you buy a pre-made model, you're not very different from anyone else. In this industry, you have to separate yourself from another individual. What makes you unique? What makes people want to come back here? Why do people want to come back here? And so when you're deciding those initial costs, that's a lot to calculate. And the other pieces is you need to find artists to build the backstory, right? And this is now, I'm sorry, we didn't even get into rigging your model. You need to find a good rigger. And while one person may argue that, I just need to get it rigged, there are styles to rigging. As some people have shown within recent rigging clips, like people like the bouncy models and like we bounce. I don't have anything to shake on me. Fortunately and unfortunately, I have nothing to shake. But that does, like, the way that models are rigged also is an appeal and something that connects to an audience member and wants them to, like, makes them feel friendly or makes them feel a particular way, right? When you go into public, you act and operate in a particular way. Very much, and as a VTuber, you act and operate in a particular way that brings people in, but you need to know how to use your model. And so, all this is going back to the initial costs. And so, of course, if you want to go all out, you can get a nice microphone and assets. And the cost of a VTuber is minimally the cost of being an IRL streamer plus the price of assets. Considering the initial costs of being a VTuber is the minimal of being a VTuber can be affordable, it is rare that people can just right off the ground based on minimal funds get there. You need to have a plan, and you need to make sure that if you are investing in an expensive model, you know what you're going to do with this model. You have clean marketing. And now as we get into marketing, also thank you for the bouncy jacket. I can take my jacket off. I can do whatever I want today. Okay, I can't do whatever I want today, but like I can basically do what I want. Okay, I can't do what I want. I still have to be mildly on cue. I'm not going to say incredibly controversial things, but to grow your channel as content creators, it requires more than simply setting up your camera. You need to find people who can edit videos, can compensate them for their work, and you need to learn on your own. Now, learning on your own does save a lot of money. But I would argue, is learning things on your own actually going to save you a ton of money? If I can get education out by being lewd, it is what it is. There are elementary school teachers who have to do OnlyFans, they're still paying the bills because someone isn't paying their bills. Anyhow, most people in trying to save money will opt to learn things on their own, which is fair. If you need to learn how to do these skills, then you can if you need to pay someone and you don't have that money, you learn it on your own. However, there's a certain point where being self-taught gets you in terms of time consumption. And that means what I'm saying there is, sorry, if we're all saying to the OnlyFans things, there's a couple like teachers who've been getting in trouble. And it's like, okay, this is I'm going to take a moment to digress from my tangent. A lot of educators, they have other side gigs because the school districts that they work in just don't pay them enough. And you need to make money somewhere. And if you can make money doing work such as OnlyFans, then it is what it is. Some other educators do weird things like be VTubers. I'm not making an OnlyFans. Absolutely not. My side gig is VTubing. And anyhow, so let's go back to learning skills on your own. Is it truly worth it to learn skills on your own? Now, if you are here for your own development and your own personal, professional development, absolutely. You should learn skills on your own. Absolutely. Can we pay teachers? Pay them decent living wages. Anyhow, then absolutely, you can do that. But there's a certain point where if you are editing videos on your own, your videos just don't look great. And I provide the example of you can see which edits I have edited, and it's a video that I could have edited, or it's a video that management and someone else got as an editor. And I say that because it does matter on how many clicks it gets. Like if I edit something, I'm not going to get a lot of clicks. I don't know, what's popular. Okay, I watch content, but I don't know and analyze the content enough to know what kind of clips and what kind of cuts need to be made. Versus someone who does this full time. They can do it very quickly in a short amount of time. And I say this because this is another cost that goes into VTubing. As if you're trying to grow your channel, it is not simply good enough to sit here and sit in front of a camera and stream. You need to have other forms of advertisement. You need to figure out how to do these things. What I will say is you also should get help in trying to edit your content and make sure that your audio sounds good. And those are things I've all had to learn. And the other way that we can frame this is the term opportunity costs. So opportunity cost is how much money you can make with the time that you're spending learning how to do these skills. For example, let's say I'm spending an hour of my time teaching myself how to use DaVinci. This is an actual case. But what if I was getting paid an hour to work at the grocery store for minimum wage, which is assumed to be $15 an hour on the nationwide? Is it still worth it? Let's put this into terms of how many hours of work do I need to do to get a good short. If I work 2 hours at my local minimum wage job, I get paid $30. In those same 2 hours, I could have worked and tried to do something on DaVinci and failed miserably. I would still come out of that with not something that's a poor product, but if I spent 2 hours working at minimum wage, assuming a minimum wage is $15 an hour, I'd have $30, which then I can pay someone to do shorts and have some kind of better quality from it. Now, this is not long term, it is not as sustainable because you do have to pay someone regularly. But what I will say is is that 2 hours better spent working and getting paid $30 to pay someone else? Or is it healthier and happier for you to work 2 hours plus to get something that is not as great of a product? That's a you decision. I clearly went the other way, and I just enjoy learning these things. And at some point, I'm going to have to learn them. If you look at the thumbnails, you can see there's a certain point where Zhuni was like, well, I'm going to swear today. Well, fuck. Like, I really got to learn how to do this at some point. And that was the point where it's like, I see. NexStage is going under. Well, fuck. I gotta figure out how to do this. And I began editing my own thumbnails. And you can see they dropped in quality a lot. But I did have a lot more flexibility in my own schedule to be like, I am going to switch games here. I can switch this last minute. Versus like the thumbnails that Ayla make versus I make. Woo, they're bad. Whoo! Today's thumbnail is 100% a Zhuni thumbnail, okay? All right, look, today's thumbnail, I was like, this is my last stream. People who want to show up to this will show up. I am not asking people like from the middle of nowhere to show up to this. This is truly Zhuni's opportunity to rant. But anyhow, we digress from the monetary costs of VTubing. So if we assume an opportunity cost, the big issue with VTubing is overall the opportunity cost. Now, I gave you an example of me learning a skill, but let's apply this to streaming. So with streaming, as VTubing as a hobby, the question becomes, when one truly invests everything they have into VTubing and content creation, is it still worth it? When you have to work multiple jobs to be able to support content creation or buying new equipment, is it still worth it? And so I make this statement as a hobby VTuber, definitely a hobby VTuber at this point, as I find enjoyment out of this. The reason why this is a rebrand and not a semi-indefinite hiatus is because I have found things that I truly enjoy, and I would be making music with or without being a VTuber. And I think it's important to be able to invest into my hobby and grow my hobby. I've gotten much better at vocals and piano, and I find a lot of joy from it. But there comes a certain point where I have to give a hard look at myself and ask, is the time that I'm spending practicing worth the investment? And this is clearly in just financial terms and taking out my this is taking out my emotional attachment to things. Like, I have to be able to pay rent, or I need to pay my mortgage, I need to get through school, etc. Also, hi Twig! And at the end of the day, if I stream for 2 hours, how much is that time worth? For example, if I taught a class for 2 hours, I would get paid X amount given my credentials. Versus if I do a 2-hour stream, how much am I getting paid? And at the end of the day, someone needs to be able to foot food. We're gonna go with, I'm kidding, we're not gonna go with it. Put food on the table. I need to pay my electric bill, my internet bill, my food, and I have to be able to provide for my basic needs. And that is the question of, when does VTubing become too much? The other thing is, in particular in my case, I have a lot of research that needs to be done, and the opportunity costs look very, very different. I spend time going to particular field sites and spending time there to build connections, and I don't know if I'm going to build a connection that day. But the time that I spend here, is that different? How is that economically different? And I think that's something that people really have to take a moment and evaluate. But what gives me hope about the VTuber industry is that there are a number of people who say, yes, this is worth it. No matter the medical issues, the financial issues, people still choose to say yes to becoming content creators. People sink time and money into these industries because people genuinely enjoy what they do. That's what, and it's a labor of love. It is a gift that people put their hearts into, or phrased differently, put their whole quote unquote VTuber ussy into. People make this content because it brings them joy and they want to create joy for others. As someone who has done live performance, there is truly no feeling like being able to bring joy into other people and sharing that excitement. So for the VTubers are still here, I hope that you are quote unquote putting your whole VTuber unquote ussy into the work that you do to bring joy and bring smiles to the people that you are working with. At the end of the day, whether you have VTuber corpos or not, the people who are a part of these industries care, and it's a labor of love. What made this industry grow is a labor of love rather than wanting to make money. I am not going to repeat what I said. I've said it already twice. You want to clip it? You go for it. My last stream, if the clipper is in this taking clips, go for it. But yes, I have said what I have said with regard to that phrase. Now, let's go back to one of the sub questions that we originally had. So, who is an influencer and what are the economic costs? An influencer is someone who is able to share their ideas and or products and create excitement. An influencer is someone who is willing to take the monetary risks to pursue some kind of personal goal and ambition to bring smiles to people's faces or to fulfill some other need. Let me get water before I go into this next song. Oh God, that was really loud. My apologies. I hope my piano didn't turn off. Okay, my piano didn't turn off. Also, while I'm here, before we get into the next couple of songs, I think I missed people. I said hi to Twig. Hello, Elias. Hello, Deluxe. Hello, Andrew. Hello, is good so far. Is so good, very. All right, so I've sung this song a lot. I feel like this is appropriate as been through a lot. And let me get my lyrics up, because I am so good at lyrics. Lyrics, okay. Yeah, I'm smart. Shiro, you were by my side, and I spent so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I just popped in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I had known for just a second you'd be back to bother me, so now just go. Walk out the door, just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hide me with goodbye? You think I'd move, you think I'd lay down and die. Oh no, not I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I'll know I'll stay alive. I've got all my life to live, I've got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive, 'cause fame, I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly. Fame, I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly high. I feel it coming together. People will see me and cry. I'm gonna make it to heaven, light up the sky like a flame. I'm gonna live forever, baby, remember my name. It took all the strength I had not to fall apart. Was trying hard to mend the pieces of my broken heart. And I spent oh so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. some lyrics for those songs because I think the two songs go well, particularly for the contents of this last one, this last stream. I did not have enough time to re-rehearse. I have no more fucks to give. I could try it later. I just don't remember the piano part very well. I could just get the backing track. But anyhow, my next thing for VTubing is, and content creation in general, is on talent and finding hidden gems. Let me change this. On talent and finding hidden gems. On talent. We'll just leave it on talent for now because it doesn't fit. And Elias, I'll answer that question at the end. I do have a plan. There are things that I have in store. But what we consume on YouTube is the content creation, or is the content that content creators make. That's literally in the name, content creation. In the past, broadcast channels and stations had control of this through different TV channels. If you can remember a time before Netflix, people would often just watch whatever was on TV and simply flip through channels. With Netflix and other streaming services now, you can simply find what you're looking for through the search bar, or if the algorithms, right? You can simply find what you're looking for through the search. Oh, you can find what's on your front page if the algorithm hits right. But there must be something that's eye-catching to you. As live streamers, people put their talents out for you to watch, and people also put themselves for you to watch. People can sing, dance, teach, be great talk hosts, and so much more. But because anyone can do that, we have the wonderful opportunity of giving everyone a chance to display their talent and work. But we have the conundrum of also losing the possibility of finding someone incredibly talented. But the question is, what exactly is a talent for VTubers? Much like traditional content creation landscape, there are plenty of niche hobbies and skills that people have. And while NexStage set out to be something different by focusing on 3D singing and dancing, how much of that is actually integrated into the culture of VTubers? Through some academic papers and through word of mouth, people would argue that VTubing culture finds its roots in idol culture. Idol culture, if I understand it correctly, however, is rooted in one's ability to provide a certain aesthetic appeal and be able to sing and dance. Idol groups and generally this form of media has exploded and melded into what I would broadly argue is the Asian wave. Some would argue, I broadly say the Asian wave just for purposes of Netflixing. But people would say that, oh, it's the K-pop, the K-wave, it's the J-wave, whatever wave, it is broadly an East Asian wave. And so from this, we blah, blah, blah. Now, so the general Asian wave of content consumption. Now, before we digress into other topics, I focus this back on the topic at hand. Talent required for VTubing. In some sense, it is important that people are able to sing, but it is not the only talent that is required, and I would even argue not even the most important talent. First and foremost, VTubing is about building a character. That character may or may not align with one's personality, but the most important talent that a VTuber can have is playing that character. The initial appeal of a character is tied to the character's appearance. It is more so about character design and voice acting. For example, why do some anime shows become so lovable so quickly in contrast to other characters? Consider, for example, one of your favorite shows. Prior to the plot, we choose to be attached to a character. We want to watch their story before it unravels and you get into a ton of world building. Now, the question at this point becomes, though, if VTubing is about character and personality, is that necessarily being talented? And I think it depends. My personality is what you get with Zhuni, but that's not necessarily what might be a popular character trope or a popular entertaining character trope to watch. Now, what if I rebranded Zhuni as a house husband who is here to serve your every beck and call? If I switched my voice and did that for, I don't know, a whole 2 hours, I would consider that talent. And let's say in building a character and building a universe that this character can operate in, that would be talent. So I did a whole stream of just playing a character of like, oh, I'm just waiting for my partner to come home. And while I wait for them to come home, I've been, playing some games. I did a little laundry. I cooked dinner. I prepped lunch for next week. That might be something really nice. But that's not necessarily what I present on a daily basis, right? It's much easier for me to do this voice and to present myself as academic Zhuni than as house husband Zhuni. It's not impossible, but it is a different side of Zhuni that we do have to present. And in doing so, I create a different character. And so what would I consider my personality a talent? I would say me being me is me being shaped by my personal social experiences and also my innate personality, and that is appealing to a lot of people. I cannot do an uwu voice. We have heard me moe moe kyun multiple times, and we all know that it's not great. It is not the best moe moe kyuns that you will ever hear. It's not something I'm good at. There are people who are incredibly good at being moe, like super kawaii and super cute. As an example, Ayla does. I'm not gonna say Ayla's cute. Oh no. We'll use another example. Let's say Lita, a jellyfish cat who crochets. I don't know if that's just her normal voice. I'm pretty sure it is. Like, it's adorable. People love her voice, and she has a lot of talent for doing that, right? But doing moe moe kyun and being adorable is a talent in itself. And what I'll say is, in building a character, you also build a universe around that character, right? And here may be a person out there who can use that voice and consider those lines regularly, but I surely cannot do the Zhuni house husband voice all the time. And it is a talent to be able to play that character. What's challenging at this point is the second portion of what talent is. Unlike typical shows, VTubers don't have an explicit arc unless you're a particular new VTubing company taking auditions. But rather, VTubers are there to entertain. Some people consume media passively, and I will call that lurking. Some people consume it actively, which I will say is engaging in chat at least once. Oftentimes, VTubers have the choice of just chatting, playing a particular game, or doing some form of music. And in this setting is what becomes difficult in the VTuber arc of storytelling and the VTuber arc of where are we going with this and how do you see that? It's okay. I make Ayla sad on a regular. Okay, no, I don't make Ayla sad on a regular basis. Okay, Ayla, you cute. I believe I've had time to reevaluate the past 5 minutes. We're good. We're good. We're good. Clearly need more alcohol for this stream. I don't actually have any alcohol. This is all very sober. So anyhow. And where were we? I have lost my thread. Right. So when we get to VTubers trying to build a character, I think it gets really challenging. What does talent look like? And other talent, as I've seen from like doing my music analyses, people definitely bring in can bring in new subscribers through shorts. A talent is being able to edit videos well, to know what are good cuts, to be able to mix music well, to make your voice sound amazing, and also to be able to hit the pitches. Great mixers are definitely a handful. A great mixer in the chat is Ryus Asander. Please do check him out. He does some music tutorials. He also just makes music in general. He plays a lot of League. He's a super sweaty League player, like actually really sweaty. It's scary. He talks League a lot. But there are many talents that can be supplemental to the work that you do, but I would argue that VTubers as a core talent must be able to have some kind of topic. Rias, my apologies. Must be able to have some kind of base talent for being able to hold a conversation, to be able to find something. And I'm not going to say that it is easy coming into chats where there's like no one there. I need to make sure my piano doesn't fall asleep. To be able to have a conversation and be able to hold conversation is its own skill. To the people who can Zatsu, like Pippa and Ayla, to be able to Zatsu, Alita also Zatsus really well too. Vance also does too. There's a lot, basically, if you can Zatsu well, you'll be fine. And it's not to say that Zhuni doesn't Zatsu well. I've clearly been Zatsuing for 50 minutes with kind of on script, kind of not on script. I've been writing this all week, basically, and foregoing most of my academic duties. But being able to Zatsu, organize your thoughts, and go through these things is challenging in a talent itself. And so when we talk about VTubers and we evaluate their talent, they don't have to be the best vocalist. While VTubing is adjacent to idol culture, it doesn't mean that it all has to be idol culture. That's why there's so much different kind of content to cultivate and consume. Some person just might be good at chatting with people. And even when K-pop groups are picking talents for their groups, they have the person who is a good dancer, they have a good vocalist, they have the person who's got a lot of like charisma in general, charisma being the quote unquote riz. They have people who have particular talents and are able to do that. Now the people who are able to transfer those skills and have the like vocal chops, who have the dance chops to be able to transition into other areas, that's valid. Like that's the success of Mori, right? Callie, Mori, whatever you want to call her. In studying her work, I've seen how she's able to transition. I was watching Suicide Squad Isekai, and I heard Callie on the closing track, and I was like, well, god dang, I very much have been educated on this, and I understand it. When I go to the stores and I see what's her face, Hatsune Miku stuff, I'm like, this is someone, she's not a VTuber itself, but as a brand has known how to expand. And remember, if you go back to my analyses on what's her face Hatsune Miku, I don't know why I have to say what's her face Hatsune Miku every single time. What's her face Hatsune Miku, you can see how she's able to expand her brand. VTubing and the talent behind it is not just about I can play piano well, I can sing well. It's about having a business acumen and knowing how to use your talents and extend that, which is its own talent, as shown at the end of Netflix's Influencer. What differentiated people at the last minute was being able to differentiate how the influencers' brands could expand to other people, how to get them excited about it. And that's what my thing is with academia. I want you to be excited about these things and do these things more often. So anyhow, before I digress about what's her face and Callie, I think some of the biggest gems are often the ones that are just not found because they don't have the platform. While there's a high monetary bar of entry into becoming a VTuber, and there's a high just talent entry to becoming a VTuber, I think there are still there are like hundreds, if not, a decent amount of people who have not been found. And as scary as it is as chatters to go into these communities and engage in new communities, I ask and urge you all to find a new regular home. I know that I stream like twice a week, and you can't really say this is a regular home. I hope it's a regular home for some of you. But as one VTuber drops off, there will be another VTuber, and I hope that you all find another person who is incredibly talented so you can find home there. So you can support them, cheer them on in their work, because it's tough. And I also want to recognize, as community members going out and finding new places, it's scary. Just even an IRL I've been having for my field work, I've been going out to other communities, and I've really been trying to like find new communities. It's why I get my butt kicked at ping pong every week. It's why these kids, freaking 5th graders, are like throwing these nuts jokes at me, right? It's because I'm trying to enter new communities and trying to learn. And if anyone, I trust my community members and juniors to go out into other places and be just great people. You have been wonderful and kind to me and generous to me, and I know that wherever you all will go, you will continue to spread that love and joy and commitment and care to just being good people. And that's what I think is really important. And also, whenever I go out to like even new VTuber communities, it scares me. Like, do I say hello? Does it look like I'm clout chasing? Like, what do I do when I go out into the other spaces? Sorry, I just need to check my piano is still on. It is really, really scary. But what I would challenge you to do after this, go find a new community. go pop into someone new's stream. I have many recommendations, and I was going to have a whole list of recommendations, but I did not want to leave people out in those recommendations because I visit a lot of people very regularly. Excuse me. And like, depending on the day, sometimes it's like, I just want someone who's going to scream League at me. Or sometimes I just want to chill with some good crochet vibes. Now, I will say there's one person that I will always go and try to see. And that is my genmate, the wonderful genmate, Ayla Yew. Originally, when I started going to Ayla's stream, it's like, I am here because obligatory genmate support. Am I right? But you know, there's so much I can learn from Ayla. I have so much respect for Ayla. Like, I feel like we go on one of these Ayla like tangents at least once a year, maybe once every 6 months. I cannot understate or overstate. I cannot overstate how talented Ayla is. Okay, like, sure, she might be kind of cute. Okay, she might be cute, but she is literally the whole package. She has singing, she has dancing, she has the weird gap moe where it's like Kala or destruction. And it's very funny at times. She plays games and she will keep you company. She will ride or die with you. Truly the best ride or die homie. Okay, if anything, look, even when I am going on my rebrand, continue to support Ayla. Ayla deserves all the goddamn success that she can possibly have and so much more. Okay, just go and hang out with Ayla. That is all I have to say. Just hang out with her once. Maybe she'll catch you on the Cola charm, or maybe she'll catch you on Ooga Boonga. But Ayla is there for you, and she is happy to be there with you. She is good vibes. She is incredibly creative. Just look at what she does in Minecraft. Look at many of the things that she does. She is brilliant. She is smart. She is an incredibly talented 3D modeler. She's an incredible video editor. Just go check out one of my shorts. It's still one of Ayla's edits. I believe, yeah, I sent Ayla like a quick video, and she's like, hey, I made this into a short, and I was like, okay. And then I posted it, and then I went on my tree hugging adventures. This one actually was a tree hugging adventure. And then on my tree hugging adventure, it's like, oh, that's a lot of views for telling someone get wrecked after a T-spin. I really cannot speak about like the volumes of goodness that Ayla has been. And it really is truly one of my favorite parts about doing this. Ayla and I have had many conversations about like why we're still in this. And I'm very much still here because I really enjoy doing work with Ayla. And I think one of the most sad things the one thing that I'm going to miss on my rebrand is being able to like bother. I mean, I'm going to bother her regularly. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm going to miss being able to just bother Ayla about stream things. So this next song I have is not for Ayla. It's actually a song that's been on my mind for a while. It's about many of the content creators that I hope will continue to do really great and amazing things. But I feel like this one has a particularly special place for me. Let me get water because I screamed a lot. There's this girl from this small town. She doesn't really fit in. She wants to leave and spread her wings, but she feels that she's boxed in. She says, I'll never make it in the big city, 'cause things are always moving so fast. I told her, stop the excuses, don't believe the lies. You gotta make up your mind and try instead of making mountains out of molehills when they're not even real. Need to go and follow your dreams, yeah. It's not as hard as it seems. Now sing with me, chat. You just gotta try. You won't. No, unless you try. No, you gotta try. You won't. No, unless you try. Let's fast forward to the present. She lives in a high-rise downtown. She's making more money than she ever seen in her life. When she looks back and laughs, to think she ever thought twice. She made up her mind. She did what she felt. She listened to her heart and nobody else. And she stopped making mountains out of molehills when they're not even real. You need to go and follow your dreams. It's not as hard as it seems. Oh, and if there's ever a time you're down, I'll be right there to encourage you. And if you feel like you're falling, then just take my hand. I'll pick you up and show you it's not as bad as it seems. Making mountains out of molehills when they're not even real. Need to go and follow your dreams. It's not as hard as it seems. One more time with me, chat. You just gotta try. You won't. No, unless you try. One more time. Try. You won't. No, unless you try. So, also thank you, chat. That is PJ Morton's Mountains and Molehills. Yeah, I don't know. This song, I was listening to a lot of PJ Morton and working on just gospel things in general. But I really enjoy the lyrics, and I think this was also really appropriate just for what we are talking about, right? I have basically mentioned all the things that like make that make VTubing suck. Like there's so much to calculate and to go into, but what keeps me, oh my god, lightning straight to my heart. Welcome on in. I don't know. Thank you for the dono. Does it still go? Thank you for the dono. I really appreciate it. I don't know how much was there. Let me check it. I'll read at the end. But that song particularly spoke out to me, and it's really for basically any of the gen mates that I have and have had in the past. And so if they are listening, and if you are out there, I hope that you are still I'm gonna fight this thing. Thank you for the dono. That was two 420s. Also thank you, Nori, and thank you, Miles. I appreciate it. But I know I am the one taking a step back. And I wanted the song to be for a different occasion. But I am the one taking a step back, and I'm gonna be here for as much of the journey as I can. I said this to Ayla in private. Ayla, mute your stream. Someone mute Ayla's stream. She will absolutely be like one of my favorite content creators from the very get-go, because she's been with me from the very beginning. And so, I won't say the word that I'm thinking about using, but I really do hope that you all continue to support Ayla. And like Ayla aside, please find other content creators to support. Miles David also does some great jazz as well. Terry is a very fun person in general, so if you want to hang out with Terry, I can speak heaps and volumes for each of these other streamers that I am aware of and have visited streams before. I've stopped by Twig streams before a couple of times too, and they're just a lot of fun as well. What's beautiful about the content creation in the VTuber world is that people just genuinely want to have fun, and I really respect that a lot. Now, the next topic is probably going to be something that I could actually get canceled for. I've been trying to grapple with this one for a while. Zhuni's a man! Yes, I identify as a cisgendered man. Is Zhuni just gonna complain about how hard it is for being a man as a VTuber? No, I'm not gonna complain about that. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because I recognize the VTuber sphere is generally a femme-dominated field. Now, that does not mean that men cannot be in the field, and it also does not mean that women have it easier. Women VTubers have to deal with all kinds of shit. They gotta deal with unsolicited messages, unsolicited many things. There are like incredibly awkward, intense kinds of relationships. There are plenty of expectations that femme VTubers have to be beholden to. And I'm not saying that those expectations are not also applied to being a man, but I will say there are a different set of challenges. Now, am I going to say, oh my God, Zhuni is not successful because I'm a man? Absolutely not. Because you can see there are examples of men VTubers who do really, really well. Like, they do amazing. And what I have to say for this is it's about the marketing at the end of the day. Everything is about how you frame and market a situation. Very much is how I began the beginning of this this stream with. It's how we frame what means to be an influencer. And the same way, it's about how we frame doing VTuber work. As a man, like, there are particular ways that I should have focused on my marketing. If you can see other successful men groups, or even any other groups, it's not impossible to have a guy group. Like, you just have to market them well. Clearly, there are many women watching streams. Like, they're there, they exist. What do you focus on in marketing your character? Do you focus on the sex appeal? Do you focus on, I am here to keep you company? Basically, it is very, very possible to do the men VTubing work, but I would also say that it's just more there's different challenges because of the social networks in the communities, right? I haven't necessarily gotten into a community where it's like, oh, I like know where to hang out with these guys, like we can do this, etc., etc. While the femme VTubers, the ones that I have seen, and again, this is based on my experiences, are very like, they go and connect with each other, they reach out, they do collabs. Maybe that's just like me, I just haven't done a lot of that, which is totally fair. But it does basically, there's a lot of things that there's different challenges for being a man and being a woman on a VTubing platform, or even being non-binary. Like, there's just no conversation around being non-binary as a VTuber, which of all platforms, of all social media platforms, it would seem like VTubing would absolutely be the platform for people who are non-binary to be able to work and work through gender identity. Maybe not work through on stream, but like play and be flexible with gender identity. And absolutely, there are plenty of good male streamers. And so basically, to what I'd say to, oh no, Zhuni didn't do well because he's a guy, like that's BS. I didn't market myself right. And that's okay. Again, I chose my personality. And as I said very much earlier on in the stream, when we're talking about on talent, on finding these things, it's about how you market these talents and how you fit into these spaces. And it's very much matters on how you do it. It's very much okay to be able to get into these places, and you can do it. It just requires a lot of smart analysis and understanding what your market is, how you're going to get into that market. I unfortunately found my market a little too late. Also, I just want to say hello to Booney really quickly. Booney, thank you so much for stopping by. I am very great to see you. It's been forever, and I hopefully will find rebrand times exciting. I will DM you at some point. Go to sleep. Like, actually go to sleep though. But I unfortunately found my niche far too late, as I found it through shorts. As many of you have seen, or many or some of you have seen, the music shorts have been doing really well, and that's kind of the niche that I can do. I can dive into that niche and explore that furthermore. And that is a good niche to hop down. Like, that's what I can do. And I just didn't find that early enough. And like you're just saying, Zhuni, it's like a year and a half. You figured you find it at some point. Clearly I didn't. But also that goes into like, I clearly did not do my homework in like only streaming twice a week. Also, hello, Lala. The indie life is going well. We're already popping off. It's fantastic. It's so great. These are things I would have said at some point anyways. So anyhow, also do check out Lala. Lala is also very entertaining as well. I'm just going to keep saying, if people pop in, I will tell people to go check them out because I'm going to be gone for a little bit. I'm not going to stop making content, but I will be taking a brief moment of respite. I will be, as one may say, I am finding my points of grace and I am working towards my Elden Ring. Yeah, you know, we're going to stop there. But with that being said, where am I in my script? I'm lost. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, there's a lot of things I could have done differently. There's many things I could have done differently. Like a whole lot of things. Finding my niche a little too late. Getting those things all together. But if any of you are going to join a corpo one day, I would hope that you are able to find management who can help guide you in figuring out what content works for you. I think managers as a role, while I myself am pretty okay about managing myself as like, oh, I know how to organize an event, etc. Managers are about making sure that you feel supported and making sure that you have what you need. And sometimes what you need is just like a little extra emotional support. So I don't know, let's say Zhuni is on a Sunday afternoon and I'm sitting there at my computer like, again, we're just gonna swear because fuck it. Like, well, fuck. Like, I don't want to make a schedule this week. What do I want to stream? And sometimes I just, sometimes it's like a fuck it. Like, we're just going to play Pikmin again. Or better yet, we're going to play more Elden Ring. And sometimes I need that extra push to be like, nah, Zhuni, you should do a music stream. And I'll be like, nah. And you need that extra push to be like, you should probably do a music stream. Sometimes managers are really helpful in getting you like knowing what trends are going on and being able to to know what like trends to follow on Twitter. They're there to encourage you. They're not there to babysit you. That you joined the content creation world as a hobby. You should be able to do these things on your own. It's difficult. Yes, it's very difficult, but it's also about building like a professional rapport. I'm not gonna go into this like being professional, etc. My general thing is live, laugh, stick to your goddamn commitments. Okay, that's if you'll know you run into Zhuni at a con. Also, if you're going to Anime NYC and if you find me, you'll know it's me. Like, this is a complete tangent. I'll be at Anime NYC and I'll be hanging out around the area Friday and Saturday. You will know if you see me because I will be wearing a very obvious like. That's Zhuni. that's super Zhuni. That's like an only Zhuni thing. Like, bike helmet, you'll know. You'll know. But anyhow, before I digress further, yeah, anyways, where was I? Oh my god! See, this is why I have a script. Okay. Your manager should also check in on you. You know, like, what are you doing? So yeah. Also, thank you so much for the super chat, Moonshiro. I like your music, but truthfully, I found you through your academic shorts, and that's one of the reasons I really like you, because it's so unique. As someone in academia right now, I really feel connected to you on that part. And that, sorry, as like a, those are the kinds of messages like that make this worth it. It's like, it's the same thing as like if you're teaching a class and you do your evaluations and you see that students really got something out of it. That's what makes it count for me. So I'm glad to be able to connect with you in such a way, Moonshiro. Now that like I'm truly indie and I just don't have a focus. Okay. Also, this was good advice from my manager, but I'm very bad at following directions in general. I don't read ever. I read. I'm an academic, but I speed read, as Ayla has pointed out multiple times. Oh, God dang it. I forgot again. I speed read. Zhuni, back on track. I believe in you. You can do this. Like chugga chugga choo choo. This is why people do the work that they do. And so anyhow, yes. I think that will take us to the last thing that I have on this whole streaming thing in management. My manager said this quote one time, and I really love the quote. The quote is on being the fart in the wind. Sorry, my manager said, you know, it's like a fart in the wind, and I was like, wow, that is such a vibe. Now, this last part, I don't proclaim to be a huge channel. And in the grand scheme of VTuber culture sphere, one more VTuber going on a rebrand and a that was the advice. Okay, the manager advice. Okay, yeah, this is kind of a transition into it. Okay, listening to my manager, I found my niche. We got it. We're good. So following what my manager said was just dive more into the academia things. And so making like doing more music shorts, I think is like the one thing I could have done better. And so if I do do a sporadic stream here and there, it will most likely just be I'm working on a project and you can stop in and we can read and go through music together and practice. I'm really trying to focus on just like less structure and playing games. And I feel like a lot of the best shorts that I have come from just music streams and being able to talk about music in general, because I just genuinely enjoy those things. Yes, in short, my manager's advice was really focusing on one thing, and I'm just very bad at that. But now that once I get back into honing and focusing, I will do a random short or like a random stream on just college and navigating college. I know that was something I wanted to do earlier on, but the reason why that fell through is just it wasn't focused on the content, right? Zhuni's channel became everything and nothing at the same time. And so the algorithm picks up on one thing at a time, and that being you want to come to my channel for music analysis, etc. Now, going back to my monologue on being the fart in the wind. Again, I did not proclaim to ever be a huge channel. And in the grand scheme of the VTuber culture sphere, one more VTuber graduating or going on a semi-hiatus or going on a rebrand is not going to change anything. And one of my favorite quotes from my manager that concisely sums this up is being the fart in the wind. While I may not have had a grand impact to a large number of people, I recognize that this stream could have mattered to a handful of people. And as I usually say, whether we stream for 5 or 5K people, the same stream quality should not change. With the metaphor of the fart in the wind, this could very much be a potent fart. That 5 people really smelt that fart, and as such was blown away by, and as wind goes, the potency of that fart is lost. But for those 5 people that smelled that fart, it mattered to them and it significantly changed at least their day. And so I would like to say I am so thankful and grateful for everyone's support. I try to say this at the end of all of my streams, but there are plenty of ways that you can be spending your time, but you choose to spend it here, and I truly mean that. Everyone has their own battles they're fighting, their own commitments, and their own hobbies they're pursuing. But even if you put me on the background as you're chasing after your own dreams, I am still incredibly thankful and grateful. And while I'll be frank, as when we started this journey with NexStage, I was expecting a lot more. The grind that I've been in the past half a year has shown me, a year and a half, has shown me to be incredibly grateful for every single person, and that when content creators truly work for their presence and follow the presence and the communities that they build. As content creators, we owe it to our fans who make this work as fun as it is. I would be lying if I said I did not care about numbers. And the unfortunate reality of content creation in cloud is it's often measured by quantitative values such as subscribers and followers rather than qualitative values such as the relationships to chat and other streamers. And I would be a liar if I said I never looked at the CCV and I haven't been affected. I am not that naive. There are many times where I look at the analytics afterwards and wonder what happened. And of course, that at that point, you cannot but compare yourself to other individuals. Individual A has X amount of clout in comparison to my stream. What's the difference? And I would be lying if I said I was never upset about those things. But with all of those thoughts going through my head, it's easy to get caught up in them and let them shape how you do your work. However, when focusing on what you don't have out there, you often lose the appreciation for what you do have. And so I'm not asking you all to go and preach the gospel of Zhuni. I don't want you all to sound like psychophantic lunatics. And I want you all to just, if it comes up, sure, you don't need to preach the gospel. But what I do know is that I'm incredibly grateful to all of you. Despite the shortcomings of what NexStage was supposed to be, many of you, and at least the majority of you, have stuck around till the goddamn very end. I also want to do especially thanks to Ph.D for being the mod here and sticking around. And thank you to all the juniors who joined on this journey, this wild, goddamn potent fart of a journey. And thank you to all the amazing people I've been able to interact with and build friendships with. I'm not gonna say, I feel like, fuck it. Thank you to Ayla, thank you to Rias, thank you to Rias's community as well. Thank you to ex-gen mates. Thank you to Penchan. Thank you to the folks who have been here. Thank you to the many other streamers that I have collabed with in the past. It has been a fun and incredible journey. To the people, streamers who've actually reached out to me and I said I can't do Sunday mornings. Or Saturday mornings because I have a long-standing commitment on Saturday mornings. Thank you for reaching out to me at the very least. I feel terrible every time I have to say no, but I know that you're thinking of me, and I really, really appreciate that you're even thinking about me. So yes. Thank you to all the amazing people that I've been able to interact with and build friendships with. And going back to being the fart in the wind, I'm glad that this was the fart that you decided to smell, and this was the fart that made your face go because I'm glad we can go on this journey together. Yeah. I think I got out a lot of what I wanted to say. I hope that through this, you were able to understand some of the challenges that go and the work that goes into being a VTuber. That it's not easy at all. It's not as easy as shut up and put your, put my chat up and etc. There's so much that people do in the background to make these things entertaining and fun. And I want you all to support your Oshis as much as you can. When I was writing the lyrics to my song, to the end lyrics, thanks for coming and seeing me again. I appreciate your time, and I hope it never ends. We learn, we laugh, so spread your wings and fly somewhere beyond this stream and I wrote these lyrics knowing that I absolutely would be done one day. I'm sorry, I'm not done. I'm going on a rebrand. But in my time away, I wrote this knowing that we will have to part one day. And if I was able to make some kind of impact on you, I hope that it is that I encourage you to go and touch grass. Touch grass. Go be a light to your community. Go shape someone's life. Go do something that you are afraid to do. Because even me being on this journey, it's been scary many, many times. And I want you all to at least remember the words that times are hard, but you can keep on pushing through. Someday our journey will end. But even though our journey will end, you can keep going. You can do what you need to do to achieve your goals and make what you want happen. Whether it's going to college, whether it's finding a job, whether it's going to that con or like performing at that con, giving a workshop at that con. I want to see you all succeed and go do great things. Go bike 50, 60, 70, 80 miles. Go bike riding. Go run a triathlon. I share all these life experiences with you to encourage you. As the sad, mildly depressed Ph.D. student who's just trying to get by, I want you all to be able to live your life and do your dreams. That is literally all I want. Go and be your best person. That is all I want as a teacher, as an academic who works with people. Go and do things that bring you joy and bring you happiness. Goodbye. It is not forever. We will see each other again. Maybe tomorrow, perhaps eventually. It will point at some point. We will do what we've done before. We will laugh. We will learn. We will maybe love. We will at least appreciate each other. And we will see each other again. And so as I wrote those lyrics many months ago, I think it's like a year ago, I hope that the words stick with you. There's a reason why I sang it at the end of the last month. Much like the story about, I don't know, it's like some old clickbaity story about this guy who wants a divorce with his wife, and the wife is like, okay, and we have a month left. I want you to basically every morning I want you to carry me down the stairs. That's the only thing you have to do in the next month. And so in the last month that the guy has, he does it every single day, and every day he does it, he becomes more attached to his wife. And then at the end of it, he's like, the wife dies of cancer, and the guy's like, oh my God, I missed all those times. I have been Pavloving you into learning this song, and we will see each other again soon. If you're at Anime NYC, you might see me sooner rather than later. But maybe you'll see me in a classroom one day. Maybe you'll see me somewhere. But I'm not done yet. I'm not dead. Okay. Look, I didn't even sing the goddamn song. I have content still. Okay. Hold on. Calm down. I swear I'm not done yet. Okay. Look, I'm going to transition to Elden Ring, and we're going to play Elden Ring for the next 12 hours. I am not done yet. I am not dead yet. Okay, we are still here. Class is not over. Do not pack up your crap. We are still sitting in class. Calm down. Put your pencils away. Put your book back open. Leave the laptop. I swear I will fight you. Oh my God. Is this thing still on? Okay, this thing is still on. I swear to God. The bell didn't ring. I will tell you when the bell may have rung, but I'm still standing and I can take another hit. I swear to God. All right. Where were we? I'm done. I'm quitting. Okay. Where was I? I have 2 songs for you at the very last song. A couple songs left. Damn. I'm gonna fight you all. You all the worst. Okay. Yes, you can absolutely have my house when I'm dead. I'm not dead yet, okay? Okay, I'm still here. Okay, actually, sorry, before we get into this last portion, what does this rebrand look like for Zhuni? Okay, first off, I'm not dying. Let's start there. I'm not dead. What the rebrand is going to look like is I'm going to focus more on music. And as I stated before, I'm focusing on music because it's like the one thing that picks up on my channel. And because it picks up on my channel, we're going to focus on that. What that means is I have a lot of projects in backlog right now. Many projects in backlog. I'm going to be starting some new projects. So sometime you may hear CodeX again. You might. I don't know. It could happen. You could not hear CodeX do a song together. I don't know. I mean, like, Blair's somehow back at the library. Not sure how she got there. And I quite honestly don't know what kind of library I'm walking into. You know, sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm going to the quote unquote library, you know, and then I'm looking at books at the library. And then there's this lewd goddamn freaking Blair at the library. Like, that's not what I signed up for at the library. Like, what the heck? No, I am here to study. I am here to read a goddamn book. I don't care what you're doing. Just leave me in my library in peace. I don't even know where you came from. I have been happily sitting at the library. It has been quiet so long at the library. And then you show up with your goddamn whatever content you bring in. It's infuriating. I have been so goddamn peaceful. Now, all this is what I'll say is, yeah, if you check her Twitter, she's back, and like at the library, it's weird. I just want to study at the library. I'm peace. I don't need no goddamn legs showing from this goddamn librarian or whatever booba she has. Let me read my goddamn books. Anyhow, with that, you might hear CodeX stuff again in the future. I'm not sure. But I will say I am working on projects. Now that I've gotten that out of my system, you don't realize how much I've been wanting to say that for a while, because god dang, I just want my library back. I just want my goddamn library back. And it's just so difficult to ask for just a quiet place to study, you know. And anyhow, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put this down, put that down. I don't care about her booba. I don't care about legs. I just want me and my books and a happy place, in the same way that, you know, Ayla and Bowie got their beach arc. You know, if I'm at the beach, I am sitting there with a book. Okay, I am reading the book. Ayla and Bowie can go do whatever they need to. Have fun in your bathing suits. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna chill with my book. I'm gonna get some, I don't know, I don't know what I need from my book. I'm gonna sit there with my book and my notepad, and I'm going to write, and I'm going to sit, and I'm going to enjoy the sun. I'm gonna be like, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to listen to the sounds of the waves crashing upon the beach, and I'm going to try to drown out the signs of Bowie and Ayla screaming at the sides of the beach, like, ha 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 ha. No, I don't care. I just want to read my book. I am a simple man. Is Zhuni a thigh or a feet guy? No, Juni's a neither guy. Zhuni wants to read his goddamn book. Okay, you had the bike arc. I'm not, look, in the recent short, Zhuni ran outside without a shirt. That is the closest you're getting to a Zhuni beach arc, okay? You can get Zhuni riding a bike without a shirt. You can get Zhuni riding, ooh, let's not finish that. Zhuni only rides bikes. Anyhow, if there is a rebrand, I feel like I have strongly suggested in the direction of where this is going. Okay, I have been opened and enlightened into the world of idols. I have been enlightened to many things on the internet. Also, okay, I will say the art is really, really good. Like, all joking aside, okay, all joking aside with the Ayla and Bowie art, the colors are incredibly vibrant. There's a lot of really great details in there. The shading's really well done. It's just a really well done picture. Like, it's good to look. I can appreciate the picture. We're moving on. I'm gonna fight you. You know what? Sure. This is a lot. Breakout, yes. To answer questions, Breakout and Concert will stay on YouTube. Yeah, those will all be there. We are transitioning all the content over. So that is something Ayla and I are working on. I believe we have decided to put, oh, you know what? I have decided that we're putting Breakout on Ayla's channel. So just so we're out there, I put it, Ayla can't say crap. 100% Breakout will be on Ayla's channel. So go check out Ayla's channel for that stuff. Okay, Ayla's channel will have Breakout. I will say that one more time. Ayla's channel will 100% have breakout. And because I've said that already on stream, it is definitely 100% unchangeable information. Ayla will be having breakout on her channel, and the concert will also, I forgot what we have to do at the concert. We got to figure that one out. Yes. Yeah. And okay. No, I am not. You know what? Yes, I am fighting the juniors in the wall. We're not a Walmart, Rius. We are better than a Walmart. Let's think about this in terms of like a school club. Okay, let's think about this as we all are. You know, we are the I don't know. Let's say we're the local taekwondo club for the university, right? And this is like the teacher who may or may not be like an advanced black belt, and I may or may not be beating up on all the students. That's the kind of situation is what I'm getting. Less so like taking out the juniors and fighting them in the Walmart, okay? Walmart, for some states, is a fine institution, okay? Being in the Midwest, Walmart was a safe haven. Look, it is 3 a.m. You know what's going to be open still? Walmart. Walmart is reliable. Walmart is like the best. Walmart is there for you when you need it. Okay, when you want late night snackies, when you want late night whatever, Wally World. We're gonna put that there. Okay, so okay, yeah. So rebrand. Basically, I will be working on music. I do have projects. I'm gonna be focusing on music. Rebrand also includes Zhuni not making schedules any longer. Zhuni is free from making schedules. And as I've reiterated a bunch of times, I really enjoyed making music, and got to check that worked. I really enjoyed doing music stuff. Are you going to be publicly sharing where we can find your post rebrand if it's not here? Oh, we'll be here. We're not going anywhere. we're not going anywhere. Yeah, so I will still be here. I'm trying to think of ways that we can make subscribers, folks, juniors, making sure that junior membership still matters. So if anything, like for juniors, just because I don't like having to schedule things, I'll just do like random streams for juniors. My model will be staying the same. As of now, we will have I will still be Zhuni in here. I have ideas for what the model will look like in the future, but it will very much be it will be a departure from what we have. I have been talking with folks about if Zhuni were to do, if Zhuni was rebranding, what direction would Zhuni go in? And what I will say is we have highlighted it at the stream multiple times as to what Zhuni's rebrand may or may not look like. As part of Zhuni's lore, Zhuni went through life really, really fast. He became an academic. I became an academic quite early on in my career, and going through all of the stuff that we have gone through, it's kind of tiring. And you know, Zhuni's kind of like taking on the old man vibes at this point, and maybe I'm just gonna be a grumpy old man. You know, that sounds like a vibe. Maybe there's like a manga that I was reading the other day. Let me see the title of the manga. Let me make sure I got the title of the manga right. The manga is, I believe Rias and I discussed it. Where is my manga dex feed? Library. What was I reading the other day? I may or may not have been reading My Dad's the Queen of VTubers. I'm just gonna drop that there. You know, no. See, but I've been trying to be the cool, grumpy old man. Now, the thing is, what if I just like 100% leaned into just being a grumpy old man? You know, like, Skibbity, I'm tired of the Skibbity. Okay, the Skibbity and the Roblox life, I'm done. Look, in Rias, self-expose, sure. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna fight you all. I'm still thinking about what rebrand will look like, but there will be some consistency for this stream. The one consistent thing would be we are going to focus. Is it raining or is that construction? I will absolutely be the coolest grumpy old man possible. But the thing is, I will be focusing on primarily like doing music things. No. I will not be Skibbity. So I do have a couple directions of which I can go through with rebrand, but it's something I'm thinking about, and we'll figure out as we get there. But the other reason for the rebrand is also I do just need some time to figure out what's going on. Because in the next year, I will be job hunting and doing academia things. And I think it's starting to really, really pick up. Even my schedule this week, the only reason things have been really, really busy for fieldwork, I've been having to go into a lot of different areas. And even after this, I'm going to go do some more fieldwork. So yes, it's just a lot recently, and I don't think it's getting any easier. I know for a project I'll have to be doing some traveling, and so it's just gonna get really, really busy in the next couple of months, and I'm not sure if I can sustain making a schedule every week. But I know that I will be working on music because I do enjoy the music. So while we are here, I think this is a good opportunity to go into actually closing this stream out. I believe I think I covered everything. I think I covered where you can find Zhuni, what's going on in the future. I told you to go support Ayla. I also said go support Ayla, and then I said go support Ayla, and then support other content creators who may not have been seen. No, you don't. Okay, fine. I get my jacket back. It's kind of cold anyways. Yes, I think I covered everything. Yeah. Oh, there was one thing. NexStage. Yeah. Penchan, I made sure that you wanted to go support Ayla. Just wanted to make sure that one was there. So yes. I want to say thank you to all of my gen mates. Whether you have been here from the very beginning or the very end, it has been such a journey to be able to do this with you. And I really had fun every single step of the way. While every single step of the way may not have always been fun, I appreciate the relationships that I built, and I'm really excited to continue doing music. Oh my God, the last thing. Since I'm not streaming as much anymore, hit me up for collabs. The one thing I really enjoy doing is singing with people. Yes, I do have a whole list of things I would like to sing on my own. But what I love and enjoy. Also, thank you, Choco Milk Tea for the super chat. The thing that I have truly enjoyed the most is making music with people. So if you ever want to do music with me, just reach out. I will also reach out to you all. To like, if I have a song in mind, like, I'm down to do music with you. Please don't hesitate. I truly like. Making music with people is exciting. If you watch Blue Giant, it's a movie that came out last year. It's about a jazz trio, but I think that movie best captures like the magic of making music with people. Heck, just watch Bochi is also like the magic of making music with people. What's that show? The band with the girls that doesn't help at all. I just enjoy making music with people, and I very much quote Rias in this is, Rias, like, part of his work is like he wants to help people make music. And I really, really respect that, because finding affordable mixing and like affordable music production is really, really difficult. And access to those kinds of materials is really difficult as well. K-On, thank you. That's what I was thinking. But I think making music is a lot of fun. Can we at you if we see big music collabs? Absolutely. Please don't hesitate to at me. At me, let me know what's going on. I am still going to be on Twitter. I will let you know when the kids skibbity at me. I will let you know when the kids throw a D's nuts joke at me. I will let you know if I'm ever at cons. Yeah, I will keep you all up to date on those things. But this is not like, this is a rebrand. I'm still going to be alive and functioning. But I do have projects that I will be on in the upcoming future. So I'm going to play just some projects that I'm working on as of right now. And yeah. If you know the songs, sure. If you've heard me practice the song. That's wrong. Oh God, I forgot it. That is something we're working on. What else do I have in the loop? Okay. I will actually transition out from this one. I want you, I need you, I love you, Atamano naka ganga nateru musiku, heavy rotation. Such a lot of world to see. We're all chasing after. And as we go on, we'll remember all the times we've spent together. And as our lives change, we will still be friends If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you act, wondering when I'm coming back, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. I always thought I might be bad now. I'm sure that it's true. I think you're so good, and I'm nothing like you. Look at you go. I just adore you. I wish that I knew what makes you think I'm so special. If I could begin to do something that does right by you, I would do about anything. I would even learn how to love. When I see the way you look, shaken by how long it took, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. I want you, I need you, I love you, keep me near. actually done now. Oh man, yeah. Thank you all for being here. I will keep you all up to date, but if it's not, I will be around. I'm not dying, but I will be putting out more music content for people who are membership. I will try to do occasional membership things. So yeah. Ayla, we're still gen mates. I'm just, we're shifting things. We're shifting things. But truly, if anyone ever is open to wanting to do work together, I'm happy to do so. I am still open to playing games. I'm still playing Tetris and stuff. I love Tetris. But actually though, Ayla, are you streaming? You're not. Are you? Do you want to go stream? Because if not, we're just gonna end. Because I feel like this is really bad vibes to read into someone. Oh man, I don't even know who. Yeah, we're not gonna raid into that. Ayla, are you gonna stream? If not, we're just gonna end. And yeah, we'll see each other again. You'll see me at anime, and I'm gonna just end. Okay. I'll actually end now. But as always, I appreciate you all. I know that you have plenty of other ways to spend your time, but you chose to spend it here today. You chose to spend it here with me in the past year and a half, for at least 2 times a week. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. Thank you for being here, and thank you for just being present with me. We will see each other on the other side of Rebrand, and you can look forward to music from me. Zhuni, and I will catch you all later. Bye bye!